Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 28 in the House of Moody Vintage podcast. Every time I say that now, ever since House of Dragon started on HBO, I've just been saying, it just sounds like I'm saying House of the Dragon, which we will be talking about as per usual weekly episodes of House of the Dragon. Welcome back, guys. It's great to be back. I was looking forward to this. I just always look forward to doing the podcast now for many reasons. It's kind of like it's one of those little escapes in life, you know, when I can't go to an island and have a bottle red in front of a beach, at the beach. I kind of sort of transport to that type of setting when I'm doing my podcast. You know, it's weird. I don't know. I'm just talking into nobody, basically. I mean, I'm talking to you guys, but I'm here in my, makeshift studio at home and talking to myself or talking to the camera if you're watching on YouTube. And this time, I promise the video will be up on YouTube. I'm going to be super duper uber careful now with footage. So what happened last episode, just quickly go through this. What happened while I was recording, as you may have seen in, previous episodes, where I actually, share not just images, but also footage, right? Footage is usually basically from like trailers and stuff that's already out there on HBO, on YouTube, right? That you can see for yourself, right? And that's what I did this time. I just did the same thing. And I guess I just maybe went probably like a minute overboard or 30 seconds overboard. And, I got hit with the copyright. The thing is, usually that's not like a major offense, right? If it's a copyright, this simply means that you can't monetize from your video. And I don't monetize my videos anyway, so it's not a big issue to me. I just share that as I do with every episode. But now I'm just going to stick to images because images are safe. No video or audio. If there is audio, obviously, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to keep it within like no more than 2 minutes. Okay, I think that's like a safe spot, no more than 2 minutes. If there's any, video footage that I want to share, I'm just going to be very, very, very stingy with that from now on. Because what happened this time around, it went a little further, which is basically it restricts viewing in certain regions, certain countries, even though it only said Israel for some odd reason. If I checked it through a different my different YouTube account, it just wouldn't pop up on my Moody Vintage TV channel on YouTube, so it wouldn't show up. So I wasn't sure if the video's even in public and people could even see it, in certain areas. So sort of a bummer. But this time I want to make sure, even when I am showing, maybe hopefully screen grabs from the latest episode of House of the Dragon. Just a wee bit of video footage. I don't know. We'll just bits and pieces. And I know there's like a limit to that where you can actually show before, stupid restriction crap. Anyways, with that said, I had a okay. It was a weird weekend. It was fun, but then not the way I wanted to end it. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys had a great start to the week. If not great, hopefully good. I know we're still in that struggle. We're in the traditional autumn months. That of course depends on where you are in the world. If it's Australia, it's a completely different climate and weather at the moment this time of the year. But yeah, hopefully you guys have been productive. Hopefully you guys have been, just taking life by the horns, just take by the horns and just ride that son of a bitch and do your best. I kind of am. I'm sort of in that phase right now. I don't want to talk about the weekend because your boy was stupid. Okay. Your boy was like a fraternity chick, dude, in college, just being like stupid drunk. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, Becky, like we were like, I had a little too much. Like, I drank a little too much. Did I just touch the mic? I'm just so sorry. So last weekend, let me just tell you what happened, okay? Brittany, listen, Jesus Christ. So we went out as usual, the usual suspects, Bangkok base for life. We went out, we didn't have dinner this time. We had dinner separately, but then we went to a bar and had beer and like some drinks, just regular drinks. That's what we were gonna do. And we had some craft beer. It was fantastic. It was delicious. But two of our friends like went home early. And my friend Oleg and I were like, oh my God, that's it? Like, that's how we're going to end our Saturday night? And he was like, you know what? Let's go get those fucking duck noodles from Chinatown. And I was like, oh my God. Great idea. So we went to Chinatown to get those duck noodles. And guess what? It was closed. Our favorite duck noodle spot was closed in Chinatown. And so were the bars. And it started sprinkling and shit. We were like, oh my God, this is like, I don't want to end the night like this. And I swear to God, I thought I was like a good drunk, but not not like totally off, not like fucking, blacking out or anything like that. So then I was like, because we got a message from like one of our friends, and Onik was like, you know what? They're at the club right now. We should go fucking hit it up. We were like, what? And I was like, what? I was like, oh my God, fuck it. Let's just go. And we were like, we were in the mood and we were all tipsy, like good tipsy. So we were like, all right, you know what? Might as well just fucking dance. Shit. If we're going to get no duck noodles, might as well just dance. And that's exactly what we did. We went to Mustache and danced. For those of you listening to this or getting annoyed by this, impression, apologies. I'm on a roll, so let me do it. So then we went to the club, met with our friends. And we were having a really good time. As my friend Natasha likes to say, we were having a really good time. I was having a little too much of a really good time. But, it's COVID. We don't know if we're going to, live tomorrow or not. So we were dancing on the dance floor. And my dumbass, because I was being stupid and irresponsible, I just kept taking shots from this gorgeous freaking woman. Who, by the way, is she's like... like the real life Wonder Woman. She's amazing. Okay, she's gorgeous, married, wonderful mother. She has it all. She has that boss bitch attitude, that boss bitch energy, which I fucking love and I feed off of. To die for. I'm mad crushing on her. Anyways, she coaxed me into taking a lot of vodka shots from Grey Goose. Oh my God, just thinking about it, I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God. Okay. I did not keep track of how many shots I took, okay? And the club closed. We went to a bar. I don't even know when we went to the bar, but we did. I took a few more shots. I don't know how many shots I had. And next thing you know, I'm in a drunk stupor. Thank God for my friend. Oh, thank God for my friend. I'm going to stop the story there because it was like Weekend at Bernie's, bro. Weekend at Bernie's, and my ass was being dragged by my friend to my other friend's house, and thank God she lived nearby. But because I couldn't get in a cab because I knew I was gonna throw up even more. I was vomiting violently. It was bad. Okay, guys. It was unseemly. It was not gentlemanlike of this this 37-year-old guy who just took the night out to be irresponsible. And it's not me. This is not me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't do this. I know my limits, okay? That day, I didn't eat enough. I had my regular usual portions of, lunch and dinner, it's the usual. But I didn't have any plans whatsoever to go out and just get drinks after drinks after drinks. No. What happened? I mixed drinks. Big mistake. Don't do that, kids. Very bad for you. And it did not end well for me. I'm just vomiting. It was gross. And I was just woozy, looking like this dumbass drunk. Thank God for my friend, because he basically dragged me and helped me, and I just, next thing I know, I passed out on my friend's couch. Oh my God. Yeah, never again. That was, that's a you learn from that mistake. That's what you got to do. Okay, that's a teachable situation or learning situation. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So with that said, well into it. That's what happened. I'm sorry. I wanted to get it out of the way. I felt like I needed to get that off my chest because it was just dumb. It was the stupidest version of me you could ever see. And if you've seen the latest post on my Instagram, you can basically see the select individuals that I was with that night, and just really thankful for them. Anyways, So yeah, with that said, guys, let's get into it. Let's get into House of the Dragon. Dude, this was of course this was probably the most raciest episode yet. It's episode 4, House of the Dragon. Again, the puzzle pieces are moving. We're continuing to see that rift between the two sides, or within the family. Damon's fucking nasty. Let me tell you something about. Listen, Daemon Targaryen, you nasty. Okay. But okay. By the way, this is like spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, apologies. Skip. Okay. Just fast forward, scrub through it. Daemon Targaryen, you nasty. Okay. Trying to hit. That's your niece. That's your niece. You gross. Nasty. Anyways, but the Targaryens, they do the whole sister wiving thing, that that the faith of the seven look down upon. And that's one of the reasons why Alicent Hightower, was very disapproving of, I was gonna say Daenerys. It just came so natural to me. Rhaenyra, she disapproved of Rhaenyra doing what she did, going to Flea Bottom into the pleasure house with her uncle, But I'm also not surprised, because you saw this coming. It was foreshadowing of what's to come. But so Alicent Hightower, she is of Old Town, and they are of the faith of the seven, right? So they're very religious, and they're very against the whole sister wiving thing, and so to her it's very, very disapproving. She had a very disapproving attitude towards that kind of experience. I mean, most of us would be like, "What are you doing with your uncle, homie?" Like what is going on? Like, that's nasty. So we've established that, but we know Daemon Targaryen. Like, this is the type of character he is. He's making these subtle moves. He's taking his time before he tries to to claim the throne. He believes that he should be the rightful, not the rightful, but he believes that he would make a better king than his brother. And again, the rift is caused even more in this episode. But before I get into it even more, I am going to miss the shit out of Millie Alcock and Emily Carey. Millie Alcock, of course, who plays the young princess. I was going to say Daenerys again. Jesus, Rhaenyra. She is killing it on this show, killing it, and it's so sad. Her and Emily Carey, who plays as Alicent Hightower again. These two actresses have just, I've said this in the last episode of the podcast. I love these two so much. They are so effing good. They've been so goddamn good, knowing that they have veteran actors around them, but they're carrying their own, and they're so goddamn good, man. It's just so sad that next episode may be their last before, because it's episode 5. It's 10 episodes in the season, so we're going to see that transition, and against the, of course, again the each episode, of course, it fast forwards, right? It goes forward into time, whether it's months or years or whatever. So we're gonna see them all basically grown up, right? In their 20s or mid 20s or late 20s, whatever, with kids and everything else, and then we see what things conspire from there, but. Yeah, I'm just bummed. I really, really want to see more of both of these actresses. They've just been just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Anyways, so with that said, I like the thing about IMDb. They're very clever, and I brought this up before the season started. Every character in the IMDb in the cast, every cast and character in IMDb, you will see that they're all in for 10 episodes. But now that some of them, like for example, the last episode, you did not see Lord Corlys Velaryon, who's played by Steve Toussaint. So now instead of saying 10 episodes, it says he's in for 9 episodes. So they're slowly like chipping away at that, and it's just very clever because spoilers and stuff. They don't want the story to be ruined, even though it's based on the books. But again, the showrunners have taken liberties from the books, so that's a good thing. There's like certain twists and turns that aren't in the book that are that you're seeing in the TV show. But one thing very important to understand is that the book is not like the narrative perspective or approach that George R. R. Martin took in, A Song of Ice and Fire with Game of Thrones. This is a history book, right? So what you're seeing, it's quite clever. So what you're reading is like a history written by, different authors, something like the Bible, it's written by different authors. And what you're seeing being depicted on screen is sort of like the true story, or, what actually happened, right? For example, Rhaenyra finally, hooking up with Mr. Sir, my mind just went blank, Sir. Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Oh my God, come on, I know this. Kristen Cole, Jesus Christ. I didn't even look up the name. It was just like my mind's went blank. Yeah, so Kristen Cole, and we've seen, and she's had a crush on him since the beginning, the moment she laid eyes on her. Not in the sense of like, oh, I'm in love with him, but someone that she actually truly desires, and she has a huge crush, and he's always around her. He's being the king's guard and all, protecting the royal family. But so that happens. That actually isn't. I don't think it's actually detail by detail written in the book. So it's one of those liberties that they took, and it could be that Princess Rhaenyra gets pregnant with Kristen Cole's kids. Okay, that's why you see dark-haired Targaryen kids in the trailer for episode 5. So it could be his kids. I don't know. We're gonna see some. And oh, by the way, episode 5, as you have probably seen from the trailers, it's another wedding in Westeros. You know what's you know what's going to happen at a wedding in Westeros. Okay, we don't need to rewind and review what happened at Game of Thrones series. So that's there's going to be some drama and a lot of skirmishes within the wedding. So we're seeing a lot of these characters again. The pace continues. I really love this episode because, we had our action and sort of like even more of that political intrigue. But here there was by the way, this episode was directed by a woman. So I think that's why it was so well shot, in the sense that when we saw the two contrasting intimate scenes, one was, Claire Kilner was the director of King of the Narrow Sea, which is the title of the episode. She did a fantastic job, because I think you needed that, a woman's touch, when you are sort of, portraying these two characters. Alicent, of course, with the King Viserys, she's not in a comfortable position. We saw that. And then we see, Rhaenyra with Kristen Cole in her situation, and it was more of that the desire that's being met. She's fulfilling that desire that she wanted to, which was basically prompted and triggered by her uncle, Daemon Targaryen, in the pleasure house, hooking up with her. Dropped her panties. Basically, he dropped his niece's panties. That's just nasty coming out of my mouth. He dropped his niece's panties at the pleasure house, made out with her. I don't know where his hands were. Do you know where his hands were? I don't know where his hands were. And just left her because homeboy was like, nah, I can't do it. No. I can't do it. And I think, you know what? I also think this is the second time we've seen this where he is, fornicating. Or he's trying to get aroused, or trying to get an erection or whatever, or he can't. There's some kind of impotent sort of element in Daemon Targaryen. I don't know why. Maybe this will be a reoccurring thing. I don't know, but this is the second time where he wasn't able to perform. And I know it's a little detail, but it could play a huge part later on. Of having kids or whatever, right? Maybe he can't, maybe he's shooting blanks, he's impotent, and then, that's one of the reasons why he can't do it. And another reason could be the fact that, I don't know, maybe that's his niece, you know, and I don't know. There's the whole different reasons. We can go into a whole goddamn, separate conversation on that. But I thought it was beautifully done. I know there's a lot of uncomfortable scenes in this film, but I think what Claire Kilner did was it was brilliant. It was just, again, I am so impressed by the directors to continue the pace of this film, to have that same sort of common, just this a mutual understanding of, okay, we should be going at this beat. This is the rhythm for each episode, and they've been doing it. It's fantastic. And here you don't see the action. You don't see too many, not just like physical action, not like just physical like fighting and stuff like that, but like, with so many dragons flying around and things like that, or transporting to one place to another, or out at sea and stuff like that. But the pace is still in that beautiful, harmonious. It's like you're watching a goddamn orchestra play out, and one of those examples is when you see those two contrasting intimate scenes. And I thought it was so tastefully done, so beautifully done, even though it was obviously uncomfortable on one end, but the other end you saw something that was more than comfortable, something that was, again, she was fulfilling her desire. And as much as Crystal Cole, wow, as much as Kristen Cole, he knew better. He knew better. He's like, I don't think we should be doing this. And, good on him for that. He is a knight, of course, but how you gonna say no to a princess? How you gonna say no to the heir to, of the throne? And there is, of course, that connection between them as well. So it was sort of like giving into those desires was probably a little easier than it would be for most people. Anyway, so I thought it was a great episode. Again, these little things, these little movements, and certain characters like Otto Hightower, and as well as sorry about that. Just checking up something really, really quick. So Miss Arya, of course, as well. Daemon Targaryen wakes up in the pleasure house, and he sees Miss Arya there, basically attending to him, and she's also playing a part, and she may also be, one of those little birdies for Otto Hightower within King's Landing. So these characters, these not insignificant, but like, that's not even a word. Why even say that? Just the characters who don't have as much screen time as, of course, the leading actors and leading characters. They're playing a very, very important role in all this. So everyone is playing a very important role in this. And so we see a lot of that, and I'm just very excited to see what happens next week. Next week's episode. Again, it's a wedding. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna get nasty. Definitely a lot of drama. It won't be as heart-wrenching as the Red Wedding. God, I hope not. I don't know. Well, you know what? The Red Wedding, I read the books before I saw the episode, so I knew what was going to happen. But even then, and I've discussed this before a while back, it was so well done on screen that it was still gut-wrenching. It was still heartbreaking. But when you read that in the book, obviously it's a different experience, because you're sort of imagining what's going on, and you're just imagining the worst, right? So you're kind of prepared to watch it when you watch it. So, hopefully that's how it is next. Again, I don't think they can go wrong. Episode after episode, they've been killing it, just hitting it out of the park, and I'm just, I love the show. Love this show so much, and they're doing such a wonderful job. Which brings us to, of course, our the most recent episode of The Rings of Power. Back in Lord of the Rings, we're going back to Middle Earth. Again, I think this was another solid episode, a really, really good episode. We're starting to see, things unfold. It may not be as engaging as House of the Dragon, which I don't think most people would disagree with. Most people, not all, most people. But Rings of Power, I think is doing a much better job now because we got episode 1 out of the way. 2, 3 was great, and so going forward, it's just really good to see that. And also we're continuously seeing the scope of this show. We saw Númenor, which was fucking beautiful, and it's you see elements of in real world Mediterranean coastal type of influence and elements in Númenor, and it's just so beautiful the way the details in this show, and it should be visually you expect that because it's the most expensive goddamn show in the history of television, most expensive project period, right? And so you would expect that. So it's the quality is listen, no one is going to complain about the quality. Nobody is going to complain about the CGI, about the the sets, the costumes, and so on and so on, the aesthetics. No one's going to complain. But the story, struggled a little bit in the beginning, and everyone sort of, it's the consensus. Episode 1 was not that great. It was too slow. It sort of dragged on kind of thing, but yeah, I have to be honest. Even though I'm enjoying it, I do love it. I do love it because Lord of the Rings, I love it, but not as much as House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon is just firing in all cylinders. They're just amazing, and I just hope Rings of Power can sort of get to that, like really, 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 really soon. And they're doing a good job so far. It's good so far because it's going up. From episode 1, it's gradually going up. It's getting better and better. So so that's Ring of Power. Hopefully, Rings of Power, not Ring of Power, Rings of Power. So hopefully it gets better this Friday. So I'm looking forward to this Friday. See what's up next in Middle Earth. It's a lot. It's a lot to explore in these high fantasy worlds. So apart from that, the usual, another great episode of C on Apple TV Plus. Bad Sisters, of course. I fucking love that show, man. I'm telling y'all, if there's one, it's gonna probably make my top 10 shows of the year. Bad Sisters on Apple TV Plus. Please watch it. I highly recommend it. It continues to entertain. It's fantastic. I think it's wonderfully written, and it's that sort of the essential dark comedy, and I love the chemistry between the sisters, and how they're going about the situation. I'm not talking about any specific spoilers, but if I do, it kind of does spoil it because if you watch it, you'll know what I mean. So I'm not going to get into too many details. But that show's been great episode after episode, and I love the fact that Apple TV Plus, it is in that old format, and it's sort of like the HBO format where it's a weekly episode, right? You'll see the new episode next week, and then so on and so on. So, looking forward to that as well. Bad Sisters, check that out. What else? Reservation Dogs, still going good, solid show, loving that. Shout out to Miss. Damn, why my mind's going blank today. I think I had listen, it took me 2 days to get rid of that hangover. I was hungover for 2 fucking days. That's not funny. I know it was that bad. Like I said, it was bad. Gee, why is my mind going blank? She won the Emmy. Maybe if I just talk to myself here, maybe it'll come out. She won the Emmy for Ruth. Is it Ruth? Euphoria? Man, what? I mean, it was the Emmys. Like, was it Sunday? This past Sunday? I don't know what it is, man. I'm lost right now. I'm trying to get back on balance here. Zendaya. Zendaya. Shout out to Zendaya, man. Won it again. She won the Emmy again. Now, I don't put too much weight on these award shows anymore, be it Academy Awards, be it the Emmys. But if you had to give an award to somebody, you give it to someone like Zendaya. And she's been, of course, she was the first I think she was the youngest to ever win the award for best drama actress for an Emmy. Also the first, black actor to do so, and she's done it again. So that's 2. She has one more. She broke her own record to have more than one Emmy for the same category. So shout out to her. Euphoria is such a a huge hit. Another HBO fucking original. HBO's always been has an illustrious track record of hit shows, hit dramas. It is home box office, the home box office network. So HBO. So yeah, shout out to Zendaya. Shout out to Erik ten Hag. Shout out to Erik ten Hag, you beautiful Dutchman, you beautiful Dutch genius. Okay, he turned things around. It was a little iffy, and I still don't fully trust the players. Not all the players. Some players more than others, but not all of them. But Manchester United, we turn things around. We're in 5th. We're in 5th. We're on a winning streak now. We lost our fucking Europa League match, but that's because I think he substituted too many different players out. Completely changed the starting lineup. Anyways, with that said, I'm loving our back 5 now. You've got Malacia. What is his name? I can't believe I forgot it. I know Varane. I'm not talking about Varane. I'm talking about why did I forget his name? Oh my god, guys, I am so sorry. This episode I'm just drawing blanks, bro. I think I fried too many goddamn brain cells this time around. Lisandro Martinez. Yes, Martinez and Varane in our center-back pairing. They're the best pairing. Please don't change that. Please don't change that. Christian Eriksen has been a fantastic signing. He has been the sort of the brain in that midfield right now. I think Casemiro still needs a little bit more time to sort of, get up to pace of the Premier League, and also, get used to the system, Ten Hag system. So looking for him to be more of a regular fixture. The Ronaldo situation, man, I don't know what's going on there. But I think he's perfectly happy sitting on the bench for now. I think something, I forget who brought it up. I think it was Mark Goldbridge who said, for him, it's probably just a win-win, because it's like, well, he's going to be resting on the bench, and, the World Cup is coming up in November, December. So, it's for him, it's like, okay, great. I'm going to be 100% healthy and ready to play in my final World Cup. So, for Portugal. But I think, I don't know. Man, I don't know. Him coming off the bench is so weird. It's fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. He's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. I don't know. Anyways, Antony, of course, great signing. I love watching him play. He made an instant impact, of course. I didn't really talk about Man United because I really wanted to wait and see how it's sort of, what he's molding it into. And we're slowly seeing it. And Erik ten Hag still isn't playing his type of football, or the players aren't playing his type of football yet, because he doesn't have all the players that he needs to do those certain roles. But so basically he's working with what he has, and he's done a great job doing that. So good on him. And Glazer's still out. Okay, hashtag Glazer's out. Get him out. We still want them out. So Anthony's fantastic. I think he's going to be just fantastic going forward. Just looking forward. I'm excited. The excitement kind of dies down because both of United matches have been postponed, so they're not going to be playing for. Basically, they've already postponed one match. The next match is the Leeds United matches has been postponed, and then there's the international break. So that's 4 weeks without a league match. 4 fucking weeks. That's a lot of time. And hopefully all the injuries that the squad has, they get fixed by that time, because you have to. You're not playing any fucking matches, okay? So get that shit checked. God damn it. Get that fitness checked so we can have all our players in there and the whole squad. Anyways, glory, Man United. So looking, just, shout out to Ten Hag for that. Thank goodness we have a proper manager now, man. I Haven't agreed with every decision he's made, but I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Ten Hag, and hopefully he stays here for quite some time and revolutionizes it and continues the renaissance at Old Trafford. And hopefully we get new owners, because that's still the ultimate goal, get the new owners. Anyways, with that said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. That's pretty much wraps things up in here on episode 28. Looking forward to the rest of the week. And looking forward to the weekend, because I'm not going to do the same stupid shit I did last weekend. I'm just going to chill and, play within my limits. All right? Be a responsible 37-year-old. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening in on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. And, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you will be able to watch this on YouTube this time around and going forward, of course. Thank you for subscribing and showing your support, as usual. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves and treat yourselves, of course. And, look forward to the weekend like me. But be responsible, okay? Nothing but peace and love, as usual. Until next time, I'm out of here. Peace!